Do you want to help solve a cold case? If you do, we have some exciting news. We are teaming up with a very well-known DNA and genetic genealogy company to solve a cold case. In a few weeks, we'll release a video with more details about the case we'll help solve. We'll be doing this through YouTube memberships. Half the money we receive will go to funding DNA testing and genetic genealogy, which will hopefully help solve the cold case. We have 2 membership levels, and both will help solve the cold case. But you'll also get more perks with your membership. With our lowest membership, you'll get loyalty badges, exclusive emojis, early access to videos, and a 15% discount on merchandise. With a higher membership, you'll get all those perks, plus an extra 10% off merch, an exclusive members-only video every month, and you'll be able to vote on the video's topic. But we think the most important aspect of the membership is to help solve the cold case. Once the case is solved, we'll do a video about it, and, with your permission, we'll have your name or username appear in the credits. This is your chance to change from a passive observer to an active participant in solving a murder. With your help, we hope to bring a killer to justice and give a family some closure. Not only will you help solve a cold case, but you'll also be supporting this channel as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please keep an eye out for a video about what crime will help solve. In the meantime, if you're interested in membership, please sign up so you can get early access to videos, the exclusive members-only videos, and other perks. Once again, thanks for watching. Number 3. The Curse on Colonel Jonathan Buck's Monument. Bucksport is a quaint little town in southern Maine. The town was founded by war hero Colonel Jonathan Buck in 1763. It was originally called Buckstown. Colonel Buck built the town's first sawmill and general store. He was also the town's first judge. Legend has it that Buck condemned a local witch to be executed. Just before she was executed, she cursed Buck. She told him that her mark would appear on his tombstone and would remain there until the curse was broken. There are 2 stories about how the woman was executed. One was that she was hanged, another was that she was burned alive at the stake. While she was being burned, one of her legs fell off and rolled off the pyre. Some versions of the story say that the woman's son grabbed the leg and said that Buck's tombstone would be marked with a witch's foot. Then he ran with the leg into the forest, and he was never seen again. Colonel Jonathan Buck died in 1795 at age 75. 57 years later, his grandchildren erected a monument to him in Bucksport. Then, about 75 years after he died, a strange mark appeared on the monument. Many people believe the mark looks like a witch's foot. No matter what the townspeople do to remove the stain, it keeps reappearing. Supposedly, they've even replaced the monument, but the mark remains. People believe the stain will disappear when the witch's curse is broken. Number 2. The Alton Towers Curse. An amusement park may be an odd place to be cursed by a witch, but the Alton Towers Resort in Staffordshire, England, is supposedly hexed. The 910-acre park has 42 rides, including 10 roller coasters. It's one of the most popular theme parks in the United Kingdom. It's built on an estate that was formerly owned by the Earls of Shrewsbury. The earliest known use of the land was that it was an Iron Age camp around 1000 BCE. In 700 CE, it was home to Saxon King Ceolred of Mercia. He lived there for 7 years, and then he went mad. In 1412, the Talbot family, who were the Earls of Shrewsbury, moved onto the land. For centuries, they lived in a castle on the property. In 1860, the estate was opened to the public, and many people liked visiting the gardens. The Talbots added other attractions like acrobats, elephants, and lion tamers. By 1890, 30,000 people were visiting Alton Towers every year. In 1920, after owning the property for over 6 centuries, the Talbot family sold it to some local businessmen. The foundation of the theme park formed in the 1970s when rides were constructed on the property. In April 1980, it officially opened as Alton Towers Resort. About 2.3 million people visit the park annually. The roots of the legendary curse are connected to the 15th Earl of Shrewsbury, Charles Talbot. In the autumn of 1821, Charles was riding in his coach through some woods towards his home. Suddenly, a woman appeared on the road. The coach stopped, and Charles asked her what she wanted. She said she was cold and hungry and asked for some money. Charles supposedly lost his temper and ordered the woman to leave the road. The woman, who was a witch, cursed him. There was a centuries-old oak tree near his property. The witch said that whenever a branch fell from the tree, someone in Charles's family would die soon afterward. Unfazed, Charles continued home. There was a storm that night, and a branch fell off the tree. Then one of Charles's family members suddenly fell ill and died. Afterward, Charles ordered his workers to chain up the branches so none of them would fall. Like all good supernatural folklore, there are different versions of the story. Some claim that the witch was a man. Others say it wasn't Charles Talbot who was cursed. Instead, it was his nephew, Jonathan Talbot, who became Earl after him. The oak tree still stands today, and there are chains hanging among the branches. Since the chains have been there so long, they have become part of the tree. There's a set of stone steps leading up to the tree. No one knows who put them there or why. Supposedly, the curse spread to the theme park. There's a ride based on the chained oak called Hex, the Legend of the Towers. It's a walk-through dark ride inside one of the towers of the original castle. People have reported experiencing strange things while waiting to go into the attraction. For example, they've seen the ghosts of children wearing Victorian clothing playing around. A mysterious apparition or apparitions throw pebbles at people. In the tower, there's the music room. It's haunted by the ghost of a large man wearing a hood. People hear his footsteps in the music room and the nearby banquet room. In 2007, a medium who visited the tower with the television show Most Haunted said that the man is an angry spirit. One employee said that an invisible force attacked him. He received a scratch on his head. The most common ghost sighting is of a woman with a long dress. People have reported that they smell her perfume when she is around. At times, the ghost looks very lifelike. One staff member encountered her after the park had closed for the day, and she thought it was a guest who had managed to stay behind. The employee told the woman she had to leave, and then, to the employee's horror, she suddenly faded away. In 2007, when Most Haunted visited Alton Towers, a medium sensed her presence. He believes she was a governess who had once lived at the castle. In 2016, Most Haunted returned to Alton Towers for a ghost walk. 46-year-old Sharon Kearns joined them for the walk. She took random photos as they walked through the theme park. In one of the photos, she captured a ghostly apparition of a woman wearing a long gown. Kearns believes it's the ghost of the woman who had cursed the park. Alton Tower Resort has certainly leaned into the curse. They not only have a ride based on the curse, but there are several horror-inspired rides, such as the Wicker Man and Nemesis Reborn roller coasters. Also, every year around Halloween, Alton Towers hosts Scarefest, where they amplify the park's spooky aspects. Number 1. The Curse of Livermore. Livermore, Pennsylvania was founded in 1827. It was close to the banks of the Connemara River. In the town's early days, a woman lived in the area and was accused of being a witch. She was allegedly communicating with the devil. so she was sentenced to die at the stake. As she was being burned, she cursed the town. She swore it would be destroyed by flooding. After the woman was burned alive, the town expanded. A canal that was part of the Pennsylvania canal system was built, and was a major improvement that spurred the town's growth. Pennsylvania's canal system connected their two biggest cities, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Towns on the canal system, like Livermore, could use the canal system to ship freight and travel to both cities. On May 31st, 1889, the South Fork Dam broke on the Little Conemaugh River after several days of heavy rain. The dam was upstream from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Johnstown is about 30 miles southeast of Livermore. Over 2,200 people were killed by the flooding. The floodwater did not damage Livermore, but the breaking of the dam had a tremendous effect on it because the town's canal dried up. Without the canal, Livermore became isolated and went into a decline. 57 years later, on March 17, 1936, there was major flooding in the area. The flooding later became known as the Great St. Patrick's Day Flood. It was caused by warmer than seasonal weather and heavy rain. The heat and the rain caused the snow to melt too quickly, causing the Conemaugh River to overflow and flood Livermore. The town was under 18 feet of water, and the townspeople were evacuated with rowboats. Tragically, the flood killed 80 people in total. One of those deaths occurred in Livermore. The town never recovered from the flood. 3 months after the flooding, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Flood Control Act of 1936, allowing the United States Army Corps of Engineers to build dams. It was decided that Livermore would be demolished to create a floodplain for the Conemaugh River. The 57 people who still lived in Livermore were relocated, and the buildings were demolished. The dam was completed in 1952. The only thing that wasn't relocated was the town cemetery. It was on a hill overlooking the town, and the flood did not damage it. There was a rumor that the Livermore Cemetery was the shooting location of the opening scenes of the zombie classic, Night of the Living Dead. But those scenes were shot 65 miles northwest of Livermore Cemetery in Evans City, Pennsylvania. However, because of the rumor, many people visited Livermore Cemetery, where they partied and vandalized the grave markers. This includes shooting them with shotguns and high-powered rifles. Nearly all the large grave markers had to be repaired. Access to the cemetery, the only remnants of Livermore, is now limited. So was Livermore's destruction, except for its graveyard, the result of a witch's curse? The area is supposedly called Satan's Seat because of the natural disasters that happened there and the perceived cause of them, the curse of a dying witch who communicated with the devil. Since the town was demolished, people have reported strange happenings in the area where the town once stood. Some people said that when they're in the area, sometimes they see a house. When they approach the house, it disappears. The sighting of the house has been reported in different areas where Livermore used to be situated. Other people report seeing a beautiful woman in the distance, but when they get close to her, she becomes monstrous looking and hisses. Then she suddenly disappears. Then there are stories of a woman with a hunchback wandering around the forest at sunset. Then, just after the sun sets, chanting is heard. Then an unsettling chorus of loud voices is heard. Many people believe that this is all the work of the witch who destroyed the town of Livermore with her curse. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. If you did find it interesting, please make sure you subscribe. We'll have a new video about the paranormal every week. If you just discovered this channel, please make sure you check out our other channel, Criminally Listed. We have over 325 videos featuring bizarre but true crime stories. You can find it at youtube.com/criminallylisted. We also have a podcast about cold cases that were eventually solved called Criminally Listed Presents Into the Killing. You can find it on Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you find great podcasts. But that's all for today. Thanks again for watching.